Well, students, we're going to work on these name designs again today. If you still need to do the crayon design portion, then I would like you to continue working on that. I think this is kind of where I left off last week, kind of doing this step up, step down line. Please remember that every line you do should be two colors. So black would work well with gray. That's what I used here. And I'm just gonna outline it, making sure that it's two colors, black and gray, black and blue, black and purple would work well since they're darker. For this next line, I used some brown. I'm gonna outline those, and then I'm using this light brown next to it, making sure not to color in the whole letter. Then for this one, I used some curvy line. I used kind of a lime green and then a yellow green. And then this one I used kind of a red orange and an orange. Please remember to press the color on hard, so if you can see any of the white paper through there, I would color it in a little bit better so that it doesn't get covered up by paint. Now, once you're done with that, I would pick one color that you like, and then I would like you to trace around every letter. So you can see that I'm staying in close here. I just picked red, and I'm pressing it on hard, going around every letter. I'm gonna do that over here too. And then you can see that I stayed really close to the edge, and I traced around the sides of my paper too. And go around all four edges. Once you make it all the way around, then you can raise your hand and I will give you a paintbrush. With these paintbrushes, please do not splash them. Do not bang them or tap them because they'll splash water. Just take it and wipe off the water. You should be using more water than paint. So here, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna add a little bit of pink within this dotted pattern. And I'm always being really gentle with my brush. You can see that some of this paint has cracks in it, like the yellow has a big crack in it. And then the blue is really thin. So you wanna be very gentle. If you're breaking the paint, then you will lose your chance to use the paint. So please be responsible with it. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna paint kind of around these dots, even though the crayon is kind of a barrier for the paint. I'm gonna go around them carefully first. And you can see that I have more paint than water. This paint will cover up the black line too, so I don't want to take your time. I don't expect you to go this fast. Once I go around everything, then I'm going to fill in those open spaces. I'm going to outline that too. You can see that I'm just using the tip of my brush. Now it's starting to make a little bit of a scratchy sound, so I don't need to dip it all the way in. Just need to get a little bit more water on it. Then that will make it easy to fill in these open spaces. I can see where I have gotten a little bit of paint on that marker line. So I want to be careful of that. And I can also see areas where I have a little bit too much water and then it's kind of puddling up a little bit. So most likely I'm going to give us today and next time to paint, because I do want you to do some mixing. I don't want you to be able to or have to rush just to get this done. There is a lot of detail in here. So I'm getting that all filled in. Then when I'm done, then I'm gonna rinse off my brush, and then I'm gonna pick a new set of colors to use. So here, I do want to do some patterning within this. So since these lines cross each other, I don't have to paint this all one color. I could do paint it, skip it, paint it, skip it, paint it, skip it. Then that could be kind of a cool checkerboard design. I just want to make sure that I'm going next to this would be that one right here, and skip it, do that one, skip it. This one, let's check the top here, it'd be this one over here. And then we'll do that one. And then I'm gonna do the pattern with green and yellow. And let's just listen to my brush a minute as I paint. You should not be able to hear it. It's another reason that we should be working quietly as we paint. If it's making a scratchy sound, that's probably meaning you need a little bit more water or you need a little bit more paint. So here, we're going to continue working on this, and I'm trying to use a lot of different colors, trying to use a lot of different design so that it's not all going to be the same thing. Within this pattern, I think that I'm going to end up doing kind of the same idea where I do like this red, skip it, red, skip it, red, skip it, red, skip it. Because then I can get an additional color in there. Now, I think I'm going to make that go with orange. So then I've got red, orange, red, orange. I can see a few white spots through this pattern, so I might have to paint in a few of those spaces a little bit more with my red in a minute. I'm not going to paint a bunch more right now because I do want you guys to have enough work time. But if for some reason you get all the letters done, then you could do a little bit of mixing. The main way that I'm going to have you mix today is by mixing two colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. So for example, if I were to do this, go back to this first letter since that one's already painted. If you get all the letters done, I don't want you to do the background today, we'll skip that. Pink goes with red, pink goes with orange, pink goes with purple too. So if you did want to turn it purple, you would do pink and blue. That would make it purple. I'm not going to do that because then the dots are not going to show up. It'd be like two dark colors next to each other. So in order to keep this a brighter color, I'm going to do pink and orange because those are next to each other on the color wheel. And then I can take these and then I could get a mix. And this is one of my favorite colors. It's kind of a pinkish orange. So if you get done early, all your letters are done, then you can do what I'm doing here and doing a mix. So get all the letters painted. If you don't get a chance to do that today, then next time we will work on finishing the letters and then doing some mixing. So here, now that I did that, then I'm going to come over to this next letter. I'm going to think about, what goes with green? Well, green goes with yellow, but then it'd be really a lot like what I already have. And green goes with blue. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to turn this green into a blue-green by taking these two colors and then mixing them together. So I would make all the greens match. You can see that that's now turning into kind of a yellow-green color. And then I can, if you do have a color that you really like on its own, you can just leave it the way that it is. So for example, if I want my yellow just to stay yellow, I can just put an extra layer of yellow on the yellow. Yellow is next to orange on the color wheel, so I could make these and turn these into kind of a yellow-orange color. Looks kind of like a golden color. But yellow is next to green too, but like I said, I wouldn't do that because then I'm gonna have, I would have yellow, green, then blue, green, and they really wouldn't stand out very much. But if I pick two colors that are different than one another, then they would work well for a mix, okay? So red and pink also is a nice mix, so that could work out well here. And then I can get kind of a pinkish red color. And then I think that I'm just gonna leave my orange, and then just add an extra layer of paint to that so that I don't have yellow, orange here, then yellow, orange again. So, well, let's have fun painting these. Next week we will have more painting time to finish up any of the mixing that we need to do, and also to paint the background spaces around the letters. So let's have fun working on these.